In the year 897 AD, one of the most grotesque and surreal events in church history took place, a scene that sounds like something out of a horror novel. A pope was put on trial, but not just any pope. He was already dead. The macabre event is known as the Cadaver Synod. At the center of it all was Pope Stephen VI, who had a vendetta against his predecessor, Pope Formosus. The politics of the time were a mess. Rival factions battled for influence in Rome, and when Formosus died, Stephen's faction regained control. But Stephen wasn't satisfied with just erasing Formosus's memory. He wanted revenge. So, 7 months after Formosus was buried, Stephen had his corpse dug up, dressed in full papal robes, and seated on a throne in a public trial, his rotting body propped up, guarded by a deacon who answered questions on his behalf. The charges? Violating church law by becoming pope after already being the bishop of another city, among others. It didn't matter that Formosus was dead. Stephen was determined to officially strip him of power, even posthumously. The verdict was, of course, guilty. Stephen declared that Formosus had never been a true pope. His acts were annulled. His fingers of consecration were cut off. His body was dragged through the streets of Rome and thrown into the Tiber River. But the grotesque theater didn't end there. The people of Rome were horrified. Even in a brutal age, this was too much. Within months, public outrage exploded. Stephen VI was arrested, imprisoned, and later strangled to death in his cell. Ironically, Pope Formosus's body was later recovered from the river, reburied with honor, and his papal acts reinstated. The Cadaver Synod remains one of the most bizarre and haunting chapters in papal history. A story of revenge beyond the grave, power corrupted by madness, and a church torn apart by politics and fear. For all the pageantry we associate with the Vatican today, this grim spectacle reminds us that history, especially religious history, can be stranger, darker, and far more human than we ever imagined.